Good afternoon again, everyone. Thank you again so much for coming to the 2017 Volunteer Recognition Luncheon. Before we get started with the presentations, I want to first thank our sponsors. That would be Farmers National Bank, represented by Amy Rio, and United Way of the Titusville region, represented by Terry Wigg. So I'm going to let each of them speak to you for a few moments first.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. As I look out in the room, I see so many fantastic organizations. And I see the YMCA, the YWCA, TRI, and I see the heads of those organizations. So when you're at the events, the 3-on-3, the Race Against Racism, all the things that we have in our community that are so fantastic, you always see the heads of the organization, and that's what you focus on. But what people really don't see are the volunteers behind the scenes that make those things happen. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I thank you all for being those volunteers that make those things happen in our community. Because without you, our kids would have nothing to do. We wouldn't be bringing new individuals to our community. You guys mean so much to our community, so thank you very much.
All right, I mean, how do you follow that, right? I want to thank you, also want to thank you all for being here. As a leader of a nonprofit, I know how important those volunteers are. Without you, the work of the agencies could not be done, and they could not achieve their mission, so thank you very much. Also, here's a little sales pitch. We handed out a couple flyers of 2 projects or programs that you can get involved in, and it takes a whole bunch of volunteers to carry those off if you want to volunteer some more. We're having our handbag bingo, which is to form a new initiation for women in the community to solve some needs for families and children and women. And so you might be interested in that. Or this year, instead of our color run, we're doing a twilight run. It's something fun, something different, and you can always get a hold of us and find out more about that. But now let's celebrate.
Okay, let's do that. Let's recognize our volunteers for the year. Do we want to clap individually? I think we should, because that gives us something to do while you're making your way forward. So we'll clap as your names are read, one at a time, starting with the representative for Big Brothers and Sisters of the Oil Region, and that is Joe Koval. Congratulations. Next, we have John Ohl representing Cherry Tree Township Volunteer Fire Department.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Also representing Cherry Tree Township Volunteer Fire Department is Jim Wade.
Thank you. Great job.
Next, for Love Inc., we have Rosemary Winton. Representing the Moose Family Center, number 84, Alan Dunn. And representing the Oil Region Coalition of Artists, also known as ORCA around town, is Barb Proper, who's also celebrating her birthday today. It's up to you whether you want the group to sing.
Oh, no.
Okay, see, that would be my yes, that would also be my choice. I don't like the singing, but happy birthday, Barb, and thank you for being with us today. Next, representing St. James Church is Gay Campbell, and accepting for Gay Campbell is Lorraine Powell. So, thank you for accepting. And now representing St. James Community Soup Kitchen is Richard Orner. Our next volunteer is for Take Pride in Titusville, and that's Carl Meinstreifel. Congratulations. All right, and so what you're getting as your gift today, the volunteers that are being recognized, are little insulated lunch bags, which I think would be very good for Carl when he's out with the Over the Hill gang cleaning up trails. You can pack some cold water. It'll keep your chocolate bars from getting melty while you're out there doing all that hard work in Oil Creek State Park. So we appreciate all of that. Next, for the Titusville Area Chamber of Commerce, is our volunteer Mike Watson. You get a special one. Because you're special. And you may recognize Mike as the recent MC from the Chamber Annual Banquet. So it's just one of the many things that we've roped Mike into that's gotten him to be recognized here today. Next, for the Titusville Area Food Bank, Janice Hines. And we'll do a quick commercial for the food bank that May 13th is the day that you can set out non-perishable food items for your postal carrier to collect and bring back to the food bank. So Saturday, May 13th, mark your calendar and make sure you put a little extra something out with your mail that day. Next, for the Titusville Area Hospital Auxiliary, Neil Romanishin. Right, is she here?
Yep.
Okay, well she gets to come up separately. You get the fun
okay.
individual recognition, but you each get a gift. So also representing the Titusville Area Hospital Auxiliary is Sharon Romanishin. You get your own round of applause.
You can't let him have all the glory.
Right, exactly.
Yes, we are married. We work together. How about that?
Yeah, that's probably worth an extra round of applause. Anybody who works with a spouse. Next, the Titusville Lioness Club Volunteer of the Year, Tina Zadarko. And representing the Titusville Regional Literacy Council, accepting for Josh Klein, their awardee this year, is Chelsea Fairman. Oh, did we get out of order? Oh, I did skip one. I'm sorry.
This will be Josh.
Sorry. I was just so excited to make sure I got the accepting for correct that I skipped over Titusville Lions Club Volunteer of the Year, Steve Stewart. This is also a little game I play to make sure the certificate hander-outers are on their toes.
That's why I did that.
Yeah, and Amy's on. Works out. And now another volunteering couple for the Titusville Rotary, Sathya Durkak. It's not that big of a room, but it is a long walk from the front to the back. And we have a lot of volunteers recognized today.
Thank you.
And then a partner in crime in Rotary volunteer work for the club is her husband, Steve Durkak.
Great job. Thank you so much.
Steve.
Thank you.
I was commenting to Amy earlier that it's a Titusville event when the first like 5 or 6 things in an alphabetical list, and then you're already into the S's and T's because a lot of them are Titusville something names. So we've gotten through most of them, and now we are down to the United Way of the Titusville region, and the first person we're recognizing from there is Amy Rio. Give yourself a certificate, Amy. Then the youngest member of the United Way of Titusville Region Volunteer of the Year family, Colin Rio. Also with us, Colin gets his own applause, that's fair. We also have Luke Rio, who's behind the camera this afternoon. Nolan Rio, who should be at school, hopefully. That's as far as we know. And with us here today is Sam Rio. And then not in the Rio family, representing the VFW Auxiliary is Sharon Dibble. Next, the Volunteer of the Year for Women of the Moose, Caroline Shetler. That's smart.
Thank you.
Next, for the YMCA of Titusville, Joseph Downing II. I was the third? I'm sorry, that's wrong in the program. That makes a lot more sense. The third. And then we also want to recognize for the Titusville YMCA, Joseph Downing Jr. Oh, yeah. Okay. And our last volunteer to be recognized in our alphabetical list today is the YWCA's volunteer, Trish Ongley. For the whole Rio family.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. Do you guys have anything else? Okay, quick couple more announcements. Of course, what Amy and Terry said are true, that so many of the things that are good about Titusville that happen here year after year are because of our volunteers. So we really do appreciate you. Let's give you all a round of applause one more time. Thank you for your hard work. And it was nice coming in here today and getting ready to put the tablecloths on the table, and some volunteers were already here waiting to be recognized, and they just start pitching in and help to get things set up. So it's kind of just the spirit of the people who volunteer are hard to sit still and are much more likely to want to just pitch in when they're involved. And with that thought in mind, I want to do a quick commercial since Terry got to do one. For tomorrow evening, there's going to be a program called Bystander Training, which is taking place starting at 6 p.m. at the library in the community room at Benson Memorial Library next door to here. It's a program that's supposed to help train people to try to diffuse situations of harassment or discrimination or assault, possibly. The idea is that if we're a community that knows how to deal with these things, we'll be a community that knows how to reduce and hopefully eliminate things that are negative and hurtful or potentially violent in our community, with the idea that we want to become as safe and inclusive as possible. So this is a free program. It's brought to you by the Stand Up Titusville group and also Titusville Community Council, and several of you belong to organizations that overlap with either of those groups. It's open to the public. It is free. They're going to give you pizza. So you might as well come and have pizza for dinner tomorrow night and learn a little something. And then following that program, there will be a Hope Walk. So they're meeting for that at 7:15 on the steps of the library. And we'll be walking around downtown, recognizing safe and inclusive spaces and celebrating that Titusville is one of those communities that it's safe to go walk around in. And we want to make sure it stays that way. So I encourage you all to try and attend that tomorrow evening. Tell your family and friends. Hopefully we can get a good crowd there, and it's something we can all learn from and put into action in the future. With that, just want to thank you all again so much for coming here today and filling the room. This is the biggest crowd we've had for my time with the chamber, so really excited to have you all here. And thank you so much for all the hard work that you do.